Recently, Colm and Dave took part in an action at Shannon and now face trial for that. And I think it's important that we show solidarity to them. So I want to invite Colm and Dave, if you wish, to come up and say a few words.
Rory has a podcast out called Love and Courage, which I'd recommend. It's really excellent. One of the interviews featured in the podcast is with Ivor Brown. And there was a great quote from Ivor. He said that there's no measure of health to be well adjusted in a profoundly sick society. And I was thinking, because over the last year, I don't know how many mentions we've gone to in Shannon. You know, I've taken my place amongst all the other co-accused, you know, stealing bottles of wine or traffic offences or whatever, and sitting in courts for days on end. And I've come to the conclusion, actually, very proudly, that I can now confess to everybody now that I am very definitely a profoundly maladjusted citizen in this country. Looking around here this evening, I might not be the only one either. But I'd like to think the maladjustment is of a type. It's a maladjustment of a type that led Chelsea Manning, I believe, not to look away when he saw the collateral damage video in Iraq, and he chose to speak the truth about that video. That's the sort of maladjustment that I certainly would aspire to.
For me, Shannon is the civilian airport in Ireland, which is effectively under the US military empire's control. And Irish taxpayers pay to protect every military plane that goes through Shannon. About 6 countries in Asia and Africa have been absolutely devastated by these wars, and hundreds of thousands of refugees have been sent around the world, and they've been refused when they came to the European borders. And that for me is a disgrace, because it is our war. We have facilitated that war in the UK, in Ireland, and we have a moral responsibility to take those refugees, as many as we can, and we haven't done that. The only message I have to the world is we are not allowed to kill innocent people. We are not allowed to be complicit in murder. We are not allowed to be silent while preparations for mass murder proceed in our name, with our money, secretly. It's terrible for me to live in a time when I have nothing to say to human beings except stop killing. There are other beautiful things that I would love to be saying to people. There are other projects I could be very helpful at, and I can't do them. I cannot, because everything is endangered. Everything is up for grabs. Ours is a kind of primitive situation, even though we would call ourselves sophisticated. Thou shalt not kill. We are not allowed to kill. Everything today comes down to that, everything.
We in Ireland can do very little to stop the massive scale of all these multiple crises. What we can and must do is stop the Irish government from actually contributing to these crises. And this is happening daily at Shannon Airport. 3 million armed US troops have passed through Shannon Airport in the last 16 years. The Irish Defence Forces consist of less than 10,000 soldiers. 3 million US troops are 300 times the total strength of the Irish Defence Forces going through Shannon Airport, all on their way to commit crimes against humanity in very many cases. This we can and must stop, and we must do it now, not in some distant time in the future. 16 years of participating in war crimes is 16 years too long. You might keep a silent thought for these 24 individuals. We don't know who they are. They're just 24 of up to 1 million children who have died in the Middle East since '91. It is absolutely horrific. We must stop our complicity in it at Shannon Airport. The numbers are 25567, 25568, 25569, 25570, 25571, 25572, 25573, 25574.
Robbie had a massive victory recently against the state.
Now what I won is not some weird thing about voting rights. I won the right to vote for blind people. We didn't have it before March the 30th, 2017. Now we have it.
I think the campaign was brilliant, and we know we live in a world where there's lack of transparency. We've seen it in our own guarded ranks. So well done to Chelsea, well done to Jenny, well done to you, sticking with your daughter for so long, and being a voice for her and all the campaign. So have a good night.
I was asked would I host a meeting in the Dáil of the Manning family to try and raise awareness, to invite other TDs along, senators along, and just to raise awareness of the campaign, and I was very pleased to be able to do that. And some of us are in a privileged position to do these kind of things, and I think that there's an obligation when somebody demonstrates the kind of courage that is not going to bring a reward but will bring a major consequence, that I think the one thing that we've got to do is we've got to show solidarity with people that will do that, because it takes that kind of individual courage, that kind of individual effort to actually really shine a light on something the establishment don't want you to see. It's interesting that the UK and the US are at the forefront now of resisting the refugee crisis, yet they're the ones with the biggest culpability for causing that.
Technology. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm outside my local library where I can get free Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, backed onto the RSL club, which is like the British Legion club. Yeah, I just want to thank Susan. I could see Susan in the crowd there, and it was really there a kind of trust and acceptance of us when we rocked up and had it west just after Chelsea had been sentenced. It's been such a joy to travel with the Fox family and with Susan over these years, and people bring whatever skills they have, whether that's, you know, the artistry of Donald and the musicians there, or Jenny Bowe, who did so much on the web and also visiting the family, and Afri providing us the infrastructure and support we needed in Dublin. The Chelsea Manning support band is still together, you know. It's not often you can put a super group like that together. I think they've lasted longer than Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Those of us involved in protest and in resistance, we're a family, and we're a small family. And the loss of one is a big loss. Sister Chelsea is out, and that we can celebrate as a family. Sister Susan is here to celebrate with us, and we can celebrate that as a family. Of course, we remember brothers Jerry and Kevin, and we remember them as family. So I speak with special gratitude to be part of this family tonight. And of course, this family can't exist without Afri and the incredible support that Afri has given for so many years.
Chelsea Manning is my hero. What she has endured over the last 7 years, none of us can imagine it. My hope now is that Chelsea will be able to adjust reasonably quickly and to enjoy the free life that she deserves.
I see my light come shining from the west.